Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is February the 1st, 2021. Strong hand, long-term thinking. Be a unique beast. Fitting in is overrated. One day closer to $1 trillion market cap. This game is not rigged. Compete, don't complain. Conviction, I'm offended by selling. 5-digit realm. Hello, my elite friends. How are you guys doing this afternoon? Everything's linked to below. Well, it will be linked to below eventually. 30 Bitcoin make you a freaking millionaire. If you have questions, I have answers. Do super chat, type in BitcoinMeister. I'll answer some questions. Just get my attention over there somehow. So, of course, the WallStreetBets, it's still in the news. And Robinhood and GameStop and all these other stocks that you can buy and think you're getting back at the man. Okay, dudes, if you buy these, none of this is long-term stuff, okay? This is all very short-term gambling, impulsive type of stuff. And when you're dealing in that realm, congratulations if you bought it at 20 bucks and you sell it at $200. That's nice, okay? But if that happens to you, you are going to learn about short-term capital gains tax in a pretty hardcore type of way, okay? And you have to be prepared for that too. I don't care what app you're using, all right? You've given them your social security number. You must report this on your taxes, okay? And, there are a lot of people that are paranoid about the government right now and everything like that. And there are a lot of people in the government that don't like, that are calling all these Robinhood people all sorts of names. So you're getting a big check mark next to your name if you've participated in this, okay? Now, will that put you up for additional scrutiny in the future? I have no idea. I mean, could you have predicted what happened in 2020, for God's sakes? So, and we'll get into the Elizabeth Warren mentality too. I mean, she just wants to protect. She wants to protect everyone. She says they're going to be looking into this. Protect. What's going on both sides. I mean, obviously we know Elizabeth Warren doesn't like the big corporate Goliaths, but she wants to put in rules for everyone to make it safer. Rules for everyone it's not cool. Okay. The stocks would be a lot cooler if there weren't all these government rules in the first place, okay? And hey, that's why you should be in Bitcoin. Pound that like button. But I'm putting this out there. It will be a nightmare for some people, participating in these pumps and dumps that are out there now. And this is going to be a trend, at least for the next few weeks. Let's pick a stock, let's pump it up, and let's get in early, and then we dump it. And they're doing it with altcoins also. We're in the hyper pump and dump era here. I mean, it lasts. These pump and dumps only last like 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. And it's blatant, in your face type of stuff. All right. They're not hiding it. But some people still don't get it. Some people think, oh, well, if I hang on for a longer period of time, it's even better. No. This is like really impulsive type of insanity that's going on. And Dogecoin pumps one day, Ripple pumps one day. It's funny, this new era of altcoin hyper pump and dumps. It's a new term there. They're definitely, the unit bias is playing a role here. And the Ripple, Dogecoin. So that's kind of a cool thing for Bitcoin. They're scared of Bitcoin. These people that want to play these hyper pump and dump games, they don't get that you can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin, and it's just not as marketable to the people. Like, saying, oh, you're going to go up from 33,000 to, that scares people off. Their type of person. It goes up from 30 cents to 60 cents. Look how well you're doing. All right, so unit bias helping Bitcoin these days, but just creating all sorts of wacky altcoin temporary dislocations. But I cannot stress enough, you dudes that are straight up playing in the stonk realm, okay? and you're going back from stonks to dollars, you are playing in the IRS's realm. Why play in their realm? And you're playing in their short-term capital gains tax realm also. So for all you people, for the people that are saying, "Oh, this is against the government," there's one corner of the government that is loving this. Instead of having people be long-term capital gains type of people, like what you do in Bitcoin, they've got a rush of young people into this short-term capital gains casino, okay? And the United States government, the IRS, they're going to get their piece of the pie in this. So I'm sure there's some dudes there, and they're going to get all sorts of new names for questionable people who are on Reddit who participate in these things. So have fun staying poor, and really, if you really think you're beating the man by doing this, you're getting taxed at the short-term capital gains rate. All right, so you're feeding this beast in quite a remarkable way. All right, so obviously I am not a short-term capital gains guy at all. I'm like the complete opposite. I'm the mascot for the strong hand. And Ty Zen has a poll, I already linked to it below, where he's basically making a joke, but who's got the strongest hand? And I'm one of the options. So vote for me on that. And check out This Week at Bitcoin. It was on Friday. Kaz made his debut. Guy Swan and Reed were on. It was a really good show. And let me see if there are any questions over there. We're going to talk about nihilism in a second. No, there are no questions over there, but there are a lot of you dudes. There are a lot of you dudes over there. What's going on here? No. We're not doing that. I'm checking something out here. Something's weird. I don't know. Anyway, who knows what's going on here? I'm testing a thing. Fast forward this. Play this at 2x. I mean, I see the last thing. I see Ventions over there. All right, testing. Brian is in the house. Very good. All right, dudes. Keep on pounding that like button. You're doing great. Sorry for the delay. We're going to talk about the mentality behind a lot of these dudes that are participating in the, pumping up these, whatever, Wall Street, what's the name of it? Wall Street freaks. I don't even take it that serious. WallStreetBets. Yeah, that's, I can't remember their name. I take it so darn seriously. All right. So WallStreetBets, so many of these guys are nihilists. Okay. They just want to rip everything apart. And in the end of the day, once everything's destroyed, there's no meaning anymore. Let's just rip everything apart. What's going to happen on the other side? People don't realize if you're just in this for destruction, what's the new paradigm afterwards? Now, if there are people that are like, I want to participate in this because eventually it will get more people into Bitcoin and there will be a Bitcoin system. Okay. But there are just so many people that are angry that are participating in this. They just want revenge. Revenge on who? They didn't do anything to you, man. Over on BitChute, the philosopher SM was, I can't say his name because he was banned from YouTube, but the philosopher, quote unquote philosopher SM, he read some letter out and he was reading it in a very angry voice. So he's pretty angry toward the Wall Street people and stuff. He's in Canada. What do they do to him? So lots of nihilism, lots of no solution, just yeah, we're getting back. We're doing this and we're going to rip it all apart. And then what's going to happen? Then what's going to happen then? Most of the people that are angry like that don't, come on guys, create here. I am so against the people that are into this for the destruction, okay, and for the nihilism. I am the anti-nihilist here, okay? I love life. I find meaning in life every day. I look forward to the future and this golden age that we're in, and I see so much out there. I don't want destruction. I want disruption, because disruption, rips up paradigms and creates new, better ones. I want evolution here. We're talking people that, there's some people out there that probably are so angry at Wall Street and these hedge funds that they would rather live in a Stone Age, and they don't even know what that entails. I mean, getting rid of all the beautiful luxuries and abundance that we have in life today. So, yeah. And, going back to the Elizabeth Warren take on this, she'll feed on that hatred, okay, and envy of the banks. But again, she's going to lead you down a path where you're going to be even angrier because you're not going to be allowed to buy stocks anymore, okay? Because she's going to be protecting you. That's part of the reason a lot of the government people are getting in on this is like, ooh, well, now we can cut out these undesirables from the financial markets. More centralization here, more top-down control. It's it's the way, it's the times that we're living in, okay? People do demand government interference, and the government interference never improves things at all. And that's why you want to go to the realm where the government does not control the system. They do not control Bitcoin. They do not control Bitcoin at all. So you don't have to worry about this stuff. You don't have to be angry. You can be very happy. There's no revenge. I mean, if you want to get back at the man, okay, then just get Bitcoin, okay? But still, revenge is not a good reason to get into anything. Now, I'm going to bring you to back. We're going to go back in time here. 5 years. It has been 5 years since January of 2016. Wow. And a lot of you were not around then, but people were worried about a guy named Mike Hearn back then. He was a big Bitcoin developer type of guy, supposedly very smart. And all of a sudden, he defected to some, he wrote this big rage quit article about Bitcoin. And the price of Bitcoin actually dropped when he wrote this article. I mean, it was a big deal back then. Now, no one of his stature could do something like this now, okay? It wouldn't work. The Bitcoin is much larger than it was then. But people were worried. People thought it was the end. People were like, well, let's get into this centralized project that he's joining. What was it, R3? I can't even remember the name of what he joined, okay? So he said he sold all his Bitcoin. By the way, guys, like Bitcoin was between $300 and $400 then. I think it dropped from 400 to 300 because of the rage quit. Now, why am I bringing all this up? Because, no one knows. I say Mike Hearn now, and most people don't know who the heck he is at all. Noisemakers come and go, and they can seem really scary in the heat of the moment. Now I say Mike Hearn, and people are like, what are you even talking about? I say R3. People are like, what are you even talking about, dude? So all the noisemakers of today that people get scared of, that you put on a pedestal, in 5 years, people are like, what are you even talking about, probably? So put it in perspective, dudes. All right. Let us move on here to the next. I have a lot of random stuff written down here. Tied it all together. Okay, we talked about denialism, and again, positive mindset. Mindset, dude. Mindset. Positive mindset. Surround yourself with positive people. Read positive stuff. Again, you can get a taste of some of the anger, so you can, understand what's going on out there, but you don't get entrenched in it. And so many people get stuck in those doom holes. And I keep forgetting to say this about a week ago, last Monday, when I was at the beautiful Tone Vays-centric event in Miami. And we're going to talk about all the great Bitcoin stuff. There's big news that I'm about to announce coming out of Miami. An event, June 4th and 5th, coming up. I'm going to announce it in a second. Not my event, but at Tone's event, there was one altcoin guy that said, yeah, all those guys that were lucky and got into Bitcoin earlier, or got into Bitcoin early, and Tone clarified the situation. No. It was not luck to get into Bitcoin early. I mean, it was having a strong hand. It was not getting freaked out by Mike Hearn type of stuff. So don't let anybody, some altcoiner, and hey, altcoiners, you can say whatever you want to, compete, don't complain, create your altcoins, that's fine. But dudes, it wasn't luck. It wasn't luck. There were plenty of people that got in 2013, 14, 15, and 16. They didn't have strong hands. They're not in it. They make up excuses, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I heard it all, okay? We understood, and I got in 2013. Again, I got my first 2 Bitcoin in November of 2013 after I visited my friend, my lady friend in Detroit, in the suburbs of Detroit. And yeah, we realized this is like the internet in the 90s. We caught on what this was. It wasn't luck. People had been talking about it for 3 years already in 2013, believe it or not. In 2016, people have been talking about it for 6 years. I mean, between 2013 and 2016, there was, panic. There was all sorts of stuff going on. So 2016, you bought a bunch of it at $200, $300, $400, and you're calling that luck? It wasn't luck. Not luck at all. It had been out there for so many people. It had been on the national news in various forms. It's not luck. It's smarts, okay? Excuses. People are always going to come out. So if you get in now and you're watching this in 26, it wasn't luck. Again, it's, people make conscious decisions, and don't try to attribute things to luck at all. All right? Excuses. Have fun staying poor, dude. CS2 sent $5. Thanks, dude. I protest and practice civil disobedience. I do it every time I buy Bitcoin. Okay, and that is a good way of looking at it. That's a good way of looking at it. You're not trying to destroy there. You're it's a protest. It's a peaceful protest. Peaceful protest is good. It's routed insanity. Routed insanity. I can't predict it. All right. Tim Payne says, all jokes aside, WSB community are doing us all a favor. I mean, they're in terms of marketing Bitcoin, yes. Waking up some people to Bitcoin. But waking up some people to Dogecoin, you can twist that in a way to say it's a roundabout favor for the people who go from Dogecoin to Bitcoin eventually. All right. You drink two of these before you earlier in the day, and then one of these later in the day, and it's all water. It's all water, baby. And it's been all water since 2014 was the last time I drank something other than water. I had a little. I want to clarify that. I had little shots of like mini health, like something that had turmeric in it. Is that really like? I mean, that's kind of gross, like water and turmeric. But okay, yeah, like a little teeny thing here and there, or something like that. But like, that's like just like putting cinnamon in water too. It's not really, yeah. All right, it's not sugary drinks, okay? Yeah. Anyway, I'm willing to try little different things like that, like a shot of turmeric water. And yes, turmeric is very good for cancer. I said Vention put that out there, and it's good for everything. It's really a healthy. So I throw it in my food sometimes. The turmeric root. You chop that up and you eat it. And then so Element Free Drive says coconut water, and I do not approve of that. It's sugary, dude. I approve of coconut oil. Organic pressed coconut oil. I like that, but no, I would not drink the coconut water. I've had it before. I've definitely had it before. I mean, it's better than apple juice from China, obviously. There's a whole ranking here, but this juicing stuff and these just pounding down sugar is never the best idea. Now, Brian Jacoto, who's been on the show before, said, WSB is adding some value, but if they don't move to Bitcoin for the real disruption, they'll vanish just as quickly as Occupy Wall Street did. Funny thing is, Bitcoin was around for both movements. Well, Occupy Wall Street was 2011. Yeah, that was a year. That was 10 years ago. Wow. It was I know it was definitely in October of 2011 because I visited San Francisco. A friend of mine was married out on the it was horrible traffic that day. what's that? Half Moon Bay or whatever it was. He was out there. Anyway, and I like that you bring up the people from Occupy Wall Street. I will give the WSB people credit. They are competing instead of complaining. All right, the Occupy Wall Street people just put tents up in downtown San Francisco and downtown Baltimore. I saw, and were just like complaining and crying and screaming. What were they doing? I mean, they just sat there basically. The Wall Street dudes, the WSB people, WallStreetBets, they are actually spending. I mean, they're putting their money where their mouth is. All right. Now, I don't think it's a good way of spending your money. And another, going back to what we talked about at the top of the show with the short-term capital gains tax, it is educating the youth the hard way what short-term capital gains are and what long-term capital gains are. Okay. I mean, they're going to be in for a rude awakening on the taxes they're going to have to pay on this stuff, on the ones who did quote unquote well. So I mean that's something that's positive. I think it's unfortunate that they're feeding the monster, but some of them will learn their lessons. And yes, I think it actually, Brian, that this will vanish as pretty much as fast as Occupy Wall Street did. This is not a sustainable type of thing. Getting into these figuring out where there's a short, or just piling into hyper altcoin pumps and doing these pump and dumps. It's not sustainable. First of all, the big hedge funds that made mistakes on these shorts, they're actually right to short. GameStop is not a good company. It will go down the tubes. They're right. But to go 140% long, 140% short, no. They've learned that they will recalibrate, okay? They will recalibrate, and you won't even be able to do things like this anymore. I mean, it won't be profitable to do things like anymore. Finding these mistakes, the Wall Street Bets people have made the big funds more efficient. They've learned a lesson the hard way. They will now calculate this risk when they're shorting, okay? And shorting is fine for the people that just like shorting destroyed this company, shorting destroyed. This is part of the, okay, it's all fair in love and war. All is fair in love and war. There's nothing wrong with shorting. It's part of the economic. If you don't want to play with this, then don't go into financial instruments that can be shorted. And I want to make a correction from, I think, my previous two shows. And a lot of people keep saying this, that, oh, these hedge funds, it's impossible to be 140% long. It actually isn't. And I didn't link to that article yet. And I thank Yaron Brook for pointing this out. You actually have to use your head on this. But no, you can be 140% long, 140% short. If I've said long, sorry. Because it's just somebody, when you keep loaning it out, something can get loaned out multiple times, and thus you can short it multiple times. All right. And there's just the time factor in all this also. I mean, they could have gotten away with it pretty easily, and it's legal. It's real. You can, 140% is totally possible. It is totally possible to be over 100%. Now, it clearly was quite risky. Okay. You're getting yourself in a lot of risk with that, but it is possible. It is, you have to use your head, factor in time. I'll link to an article about it and a Yaron Brook video that explained it. And I was incorrect but beforehand, thinking that was part of the, because there are some shady aspects to all this. I mean, if the government called into Robinhood and said, stop trading because we want our friend, that's wrong. That is totally wrong. But it does look like there were some real financial problems that some of these Robinhood type of companies were going to have if they didn't stop trading, all right? and that they were legally entitled to do. You guys, when you sign up for these centralized stock trading services, you sign all sorts of stuff, okay? And you probably sign away your right to even own, like they probably can legally confiscate it from you, okay? So I know all these people are their class action lawsuits that are going on out there, okay? But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, this is again a big takeaway. If you don't want to get into this messiness, all right, into like, well, did my contract really allow this confiscation? Did my contract really allow them to stop buying but continue selling? Just get into Bitcoin. It's very clear. With Bitcoin, it's so simple. You buy the underlying asset, then it's yours. Okay, it's yours when you move it to your Trezor or whatever. When you control your private key. So you don't have to, the contract you make is with yourself. Like, I trust myself to take care of this private key. And thus, I can sell it when I want to. I can give it to my friends when I want to. I can, take it here, do this, whatever, when no one can confiscate it. Right? There's no questions. There's not this ambiguity that's out there, all right? That's in Robinhood land. And because of envy, there's just a lot of people that are just jumping on these trains and just not thinking like, oh, they're the complete devil that they did this. Well, what was in the contract? It might have been the devil was in the details, wasn't it? I'm sure in so many of these companies' contracts that do this trading, this free trading, nothing's free, that they could probably confiscate it if you're put on some list or if they feel like it. Do you read all that nonsense that's written there? All right. Roman Q says people say Bitcoin is complicated. And look at all this nonsense in the fiat realm. Bitcoin is as simple as 21 million plus one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. It is as simple as that. But Roman Q, you bring up a very interesting point. Buying Bitcoin, then storing Bitcoin for the foreseeable future is much harder than going on Robinhood and thinking that you own GameStop. Okay, and thinking that you own whatever, IBM or anything like that. All right? Because you buy it, and there it is. It's like your stock is there on Robinhood. It says you own this stock. Who the heck in this day and age even gets a stock certificate anymore? And that's so backward anyway. All right? To have you need to, the way you know you own something is a paper certificate with a stamp on it, okay? I mean, that's really how you know that you own a stock, all right? And I think it could be taken away from you. That is still at that point. With Bitcoin, you know you own it when you control your private key. So that's hard for some people. People love the convenience of something like Robinhood. It is harder to own your Bitcoin on that level is harder than this stock stuff. And so people gladly are giving up. Gladly opting in. They're opting into this ease of ownership, ease of transferability. But you're seeing the dark side of that ease. So what I said before about the 130% short, you 20%ers out there, take it to a new level. Use your heads, and just there's a few seconds, a few minutes of using your head makes you so elite. And takes you away from these nasty situations that we see that are just popping up all over now with this confiscation and delaying what being able to dump things that you think are yours. All right, now, and you're really learning about what third parties are, which Robinhood is. It's a company that makes their own rules. With your Bitcoin, the rules are out there already, and they're not changing. Robinhood, in their terms of agreements, maybe it says they can change the rules whenever they want to. I don't know. That's what you have to worry about with third parties. You don't know. They're these small print, the fine print, dude. There are a lot of people crying about the fine print right now, and unfortunately, it's going to be sad how it's going to end up for these people. And I wanted to mention 210,000 blocks ago. First of all, pound that like button. But 210,000 blocks ago was, I think by now, I wrote this down last night. It was probably March 23rd 2017, okay? And Bitcoin was around $1,100, and the price was sideways for quite some time. It had been higher than that already, all right? There was no new all-time high for a little while, I think for about 6 weeks or so. And we're in a similar period now where we had reached some all-time highs, and now we're going sideways. So is 31,000, 32,000, is that the new 1,100? Is that the new 1,200? Maybe. I just want to give everyone that's like sad because it's 32,000 or 33,000. You know, why isn't it back at 40,000? The same time, 210,000 blocks ago, we were going through the same questions. Why isn't it back at its 1,300 all-time high or whatever it got up to, you know, a few weeks beforehand? All right? So I'm here telling you that after being sideways for a while, around March, you know, 210,000 blocks ago, it's about 6 weeks later or whatever it was, it started ramping up again, and it was, you know, it doubled. It doubled from 1,100, okay? So I'm just saying, around April Fool's this year, if it follows that 210,000 block, what it did 210,000 blocks ago, you're going to be really happy, okay? So I'm leaving Miami on March 24th to go home to Baltimore for Passover. I call it home because that's where my family is. I have no home there. That's where I was born and raised. And I mean, it could be, you know, there have been other times when I jump on a plane and things go crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if you know, so, hey guys, you know, February might be a little slow and everything, but March 24th, April Fools, we might be real happy. So, you know, you go look at the charts, dudes. Look at the charts starting March 23rd, 2017. That would be the equivalent of today, and see what happened in the next 6 weeks. See for yourself. See for yourself. And perhaps and see what happened the 3 weeks, 4 weeks before that, or 5 weeks before that. It's very similar. Okay, just pointing it out there. But just remember, 210,000 blocks, you can subtract go to any date, subtract 210,000 blocks from it, and Bitcoin is always worth more. And remember, Bitcoin always returns to its all-time high. Pound that, we're one day closer to an all-time high. Now, there is a guy out there, Burbio's Community Activity Index. I linked to it below. It has like not really much to do with Bitcoin, but this dude made a map of the United States, and you can see where things are, where people are doing things, okay, where there's activity. Okay, I won't allow, you know, due to current events in many states, people aren't doing activities anymore, which is unfortunate. But you can see, like in states like South Dakota, Florida, people they've got high activity ratings, okay? So you can see, you know, this is, for all you that are stuck in a doom and gloom hole, there are plenty of states that are, well, first of all, I don't believe in a new normal, that are back to normal, that are fine, that are cool. And I may link to it. There was the Washington Examiner had a cover just promoting Florida. I mean, Florida is where it's at, dudes. I know most of you are not in Florida right now. So, you know, those of you in California have a completely different view of the world than we do here in Florida. It's so happy and so productive here. It's so great. Miami is awesome. All right, I'm gonna leave that out. I'm gonna leave out the and yes, I do want to go back to Robinhood. If they weren't allowed to, if people were actually liquidated, now I don't even know if this is true. There's so many rumors that are going on. If there were forced liquidations and that was not allowed, well, then that's wrong. Then you should sue. Yeah, indeed. That is wrong. And that is part of a terrible system, okay? And another reason, there are no forced liquidations when you control your own private key in Bitcoin. All right. Now, oh, good. I talked about that it's not simple. And speaking of Miami, we are looking to adopt Wyoming's blockchain and crypto laws in Florida. That is awesome that the mayor of Miami tweeted that out. And it is awesome that competition is good. Yeah, let Miami compete with Wyoming. I wish all the jurisdictions went Miami. It went Miami and Wyoming on this. It's awesome that it's gaining momentum, and other jurisdictions want to compete for Bitcoin, compete for freedom. All right, the Bitcoin 2021 conference by Bitcoin Magazine officially announced today. I've linked to it below. Instead of being in Los Angeles or San Francisco, June 4th and 5th, they are going to be in Miami. All right, so that is awesome news. Hopefully Tone will move his unconfiscatable event to Miami also. And it's just, if you're going to not be an active state, that's putting it nicely, people are going to move with their freaking feet. And just, it's awesome. Wyoming's being proactive. Apparently, I think South Dakota might be being proactive. Well, South Dakota's being obviously proactive in terms of activity, but I've heard some things with Bitcoin also. Obviously, Miami is being incredibly proactive with the Bitcoin, and people, may this be the financial capital of the United States soon enough. May it happen soon. And that's just one step closer to having that awesome Bitcoin Magazine event here. So that's June 4th and 5th. I'll probably be at it. And one way of, in terms of regulation, going back to stocks, just look at it this way, okay? Stocks are controlled by the government, okay? It's a mixed economy. Stocks are part of the mixed economy, which, if you boil it down, it's the government, Sure, it's sad. It's sad that we live in a mixed economy. It's sad, okay? Bitcoin is not part of the mixed economy at all. The government has no say over it, all right? So the choice is yours. You can play, and the mixed economy has been great for plenty of people. All right, you could do well with stocks. You could do, but I'm going to tell you, the hedge fund guys are going to do better than you. They're professionals, and they study this stuff. They got all sorts of they got insider information. Bitcoin insider information is out there for anyone. This is your home for Bitcoin insider information, but there truly isn't. It's just about educating yourself in Bitcoin. All right, now. In the mixed economy, this is the sad thing. It's perfectly legal for the congressmen, and senators, including Elizabeth Warren, to get to trade on insider information, to rig things behind the scenes, to get, they know they're going to have a bill that's going to penalize this aspect of the financial markets, so they sell before it gets out there to the public. That's totally legal in the mixed economy that we live in. Senators and congressmen, that is part of the law. They are allowed to do things like that. That's sad. That's sad. That's part of the game. That game. And you could be angry about it, or you can just go to Bitcoin and you don't have to deal with that. Now, and here someone says the only way to truly stick it to Wall Street is to use Bitcoin. All right, dudes. Just better yourself. Better yourself. Don't worry about revenge. Okay, we talked about unit bias. Okay, I'll save that for another time. Alistair Milne said, Bitcoin has now traded over $30,000 for over 30 days. Dudes, isn't that awesome? That is such a great way. Before the first of this year, Bitcoin had never been over $30,000 before. And now we're already in a new realm where it's traded over for $30,000 for a month. I mean, this is so awesome. It shows you that we're in that upward cycle that happens every 4 years, babies. This is 2017 on steroids, hopefully. All right, we'll talk about I'll save that for another time. Oh yeah, this is Michael Saylor's conference is coming up on February 3rd and 4th, which is for other CEO type people, C-level type people. Andy Hoffman goes wild and says, this will be the most impactful financial conference in history. Michael Saylor has the ability to take down the global financial system all by himself in favor of Bitcoin and intends on doing so now. Okay, that might be some hyperbole there, but February 3rd and 4th, he is going to wake up some very rich dudes to Bitcoin and convince some of these CEO guys to buy Bitcoin. So I wish him well on his conference for his rich dude friends and rich dude, whatever, company people, institutional people it's going to be on what, Wednesday and Thursday. And so Andy Hoffman should have been the marketing director for that thing, with that tweet that he put out there. And the what I was talking about Elizabeth Warren, Tushar Jain retweeted something that she said, and he commented. He said, as a consequence of this GameStop situation, the government will likely pass more regulations on traditional financial markets. More bureaucracy and more restrictions on traditional FI will drive more capital to DeFi. All right, well, it will, and the Bitcoin. And if DeFi is a way to get traditional FI people into Bitcoin, if it makes them feel warm and fuzzy, like, okay, I can still do my financial magic with this DeFi stuff, then okay, fine. It's a good gateway. Good gateway entity. I don't want to use the word that people usually use to get into Bitcoin. Okay, if that makes them feel comfortable, that decentralized finance makes them, it's a good way to transition from centralized finance. Good. I don't think it's good that that Elizabeth Warren and her buddies are going to regulate traditional finance more. I don't want traditional finance to go away. I don't want there to be a mixed economy out there with the government just picking winners and losers, and Elizabeth Warren interfering so she can virtue signal and hopefully for her, one day become president. For us, no, that's not a hope. Get her name out there more. She loves to get her name out there when people start getting angry at the big banks. So it's just another. And guys, just look at this. AOC is buying into all this anger. So look at the people that are buying into the anger side of things. You don't want to be there. Think about it. You don't want to be there. And, they might have a couple valid points here and there. There's a lot of bad dudes that have valid points on other things also. Get into the productivity realm. They are not in this for productivity, okay? I can guarantee you that. They are not adding to innovation. They don't want more innovation. They want protection. Protection and virtue signaling. All right. So yeah, TikTok, my latest TikTok is linked to below. What I talk about? I talked about I talked about what I talked about today. Taxes. Warning the youth out there about the short-term value capital gains taxes. Okay, yeah, I talked about the 140%. And another thing that Yaron Brook brought up, for everyone that's like, oh, we're destroying the hedge funds here. We're destroying the hedge funds, playing this new short game with them, okay? Crowd shorting, crowd anti-shorting, all right? No, a few hedge funds, went down. There are plenty of hedge funds that have altered what they're doing, and they're doing great off of all this Wall Street Wall Street bet stuff. There are plenty of hedge funds doing great off of this Wall Street bet stuff that we're experiencing. Okay, so don't think this is like a one-sided thing. Those guys are smart over there. They're adapting to this very, very, very fast. All right. So what else do we have? We have other questions. And again, thank you for CS for the $5, and thank you Paul in Vegas for the 777. Is he a religious man? To avoid suffering hideous winds, please handle the honey badger with great care, holding firmly with a strong hand, baby. Yes, I think you meant to avoid suffering hideous wounds. Please handle the honey badger with great care, holding firmly with a strong hand, baby. Yeah, a very good point, Paul. If you don't have a strong hand on your Bitcoin honey badger and you let it go, you will suffer horrible wounds. You regret terrible. You will just regret it for the rest of your lives. You'll be one of those no coiners that say, "Oh, it was all luck." No, it wasn't luck. You just got to have your strong hand on that honey badger. You never let go of that thing. You say, again, we're not living in 2016. Back in 2016, I would say 2020, strong hand. And right now I say 2024, long-term thinking, strong hand. Get into that 4-digit cycle, dudes. Get into that 4-digit cycle. All right. Halving cycle. Learn what the halving is. Whoo! Now, we're okay. We talked about Occupy Wall Street. And all right, I think that will be the end of this. I'll mention that. I'll mention that next time. The mayor of Miami is just, I mean, he is marketing Bitcoin. It's all some outsider trading. I like that terminology. One thing you can agree, the Robinhood stuff is outsider trading. It's not insider trading. Outsider trading, and that's. But if you truly want to be an outsider trader, you just buy Bitcoin and you stop trading. That's really only outside right there. All right. Okay, I talked about competing, and all right. What and how many Bitcoin make you a millionaire today? 30 Bitcoin make you a millionaire? Oh, and here. This is what I've been. I don't think what happened with GME demands new regulation. It does not. I think it demands that institutional investors adjust their risk management strategy, and it does. It does, and they have adjusted their risk management strategy. So we don't need more regulations, okay? We don't need more regulations. And no, that's it. That's the end of the show. I'm Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember, subscribe to this channel. And the backup channel. Pound that like button. Check out all the links below. You can follow me on BitChute and Twitter. I'm TechBalt, TechBalt. And I'll see you guys soon. And let me just thank you. Thank you, everyone. See ya. Bye-bye.